Welcome back to Breaking Waves Sailing, a channel about Ben and Alie and their adventures sailing the world in search of surf waves. After buying an 80s era sailboat and spending 4 years fixing her up and learning to sail around Vancouver Island, we have just accomplished one of the biggest dreams of our lives and sailed 3,000 miles all the way across the Pacific Ocean. In this episode, we share with you our first couple days on the stunning island of Batu Hiva in French Polynesia. This is beautiful. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on this adventure of a lifetime. Welcome back to Batu Hiva, our first stop in the Marquesas after sailing 21 days from La Cruz, Mexico. Most mornings on Breaking Waves start with a few hours of boat work before we start exploring, and today was no different. We had found a tap on land of potable water right next to the dinghy dock and set off to fill our tanks. I asked one of the locals and he said, "Oh, you can use this tap." I needed some help getting it on because you have to push it down and stuff, but this is pretty sweet, free water. C'est mon nouveau ami.
Bonjour. Voilà, je remplis.
Et il m'a aidé avec les bouteilles d'eau. Merci, mon ami. Really easy in comparison to other places we've been for finding water. And I'm getting out first mated. I don't even need to do anything. We got water. We're spying this little wave. It's not a surfable wave yet, but if we had a little bit more swell, it could be. Hits the rocks right there. That's almost a surf wave. This would be so dreamy. This view, the anchorage right here, and then a surf wave, honestly, I'd be dream, realize, leave me here forever, I live here now.
How many,
Move. Shortly after, we scooped up our friend Peter aboard Castle and sought out to find a waterfall that we had heard about. I know. Look how big these trees are. A little squirrely. Oh yeah! Good thing is I did my glutes this morning. I don't know why humans are so amazed by falling water. I don't even think it's all gonna fit in this shot, But this waterfall was gorgeous. Wow. It had us absolutely astonished.
Wow, that is pretty.
It is pretty. This is not what I thought it would be. This is beautiful.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It just kept going up and up and up.
Nice, eh? It's a little more refreshing than I thought it'd be.
The water
nice.
Coming off the side it's warmer than the
Oh,
water
yeah?
here. Yeah, you can tell the difference.
Wow, it's really nice. Feels great to get a little bit of exercise. Work the legs a bit.
Totally.
Really pretty too.
The temperature is the perfect reset too.
Yeah.
Woo! Jesus, Peter. This has made those 21 days of no showering worth it. This is the swimming in the waterfall is the reward I get for not showering for 20 days. This is so magical and beautiful. I can't believe it's real.
Let's go hunting for some goats.
Ben bought a machete years ago, years, because he was one day we're going to be traveling and I'm going to want to cut down some coconuts. So I feel this is this is his time to shine. He's been waiting for this moment for years.
You need one and you don't have it, man.
Yeah.
Does the work. work of 100 men.
Well, if you ever get boarded by a pirate, you gotta have a machete on board.
A little more
Boys on
accessible.
Instagram make it look so easy.
I know.
Chloe looks like she's gonna do it.
She's bear hugging it.
Oh boy.
Getting after it. Oh yeah. Yeah! Yeah!
Go for the green ones.
Those green ones.
That's a good one. Allie just outmanned me and Peter.
You just totally outmanned us.
You got outmanned.
Completely.
I've been waiting years to do this. All those Instagrams, the little people running up trees.
You're a wild one.
Did you get to it?
Almost.
I don't know if these are key limes or lemons, but they smell so good. So good. And they were falling off the tree when they were yellow, but they were on the tree when they were green. And they look like key limes. So I was like, oh, I'll grab a bunch of key limes. And it's just like wild, not on anybody's property or anything, which I thought was cool. And then the yellow ones fell, but they smell so good. The coconuts earned by yours truly. And then I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna take it to Google. I think it was called, like, somebody said it was like a sour sap or something, but we'll investigate. And then look what Ben found. Heck yeah. Man, you know you're in the tropics when you're harvesting bananas that are wild.
With machetes.
With machetes. What a good day. Today is just an amazing day. All right, guys, day 3 in Fatu Hiva. I can't get over this place. I don't want to stop moving. I need a day to like sleep, but it is not today because I'm so excited to be here still. We hired a guy in town named Poi. He has a truck and he's gonna drive us over to the next town over. We're gonna try to find some cash and just walk around, do a little tour, maybe try some fruit. You know, he's gonna give us a little lay of the land and I don't know, just get acquainted with the culture here, and I'm excited. Ben's gonna stay behind today and get some work done on the boat, top up our water, and I don't know what else he's gonna do, but yeah, I'm excited. Come along. While I went on a tour of the area with some friends from our fleet, Ben's body clock was still a bit messed up from the crossing. So he decided to stay with the boats, work on getting our dinghy back up and running, and have some alone time, which on a boat is not something you get a whole lot of.
Good morning, everybody. I'm just having a bit of a Ben day. The final crew from our fleet, Sunday Island, made it in this morning. So now we all left around the same time, and now we're all here, which is really exciting. And everybody else from that group has gone on a truck tour. I decided I just was looking forward to having a Ben day, be on my own for a little bit, recharge my batteries, and the generator and my jigsaw, and I'm gonna start cutting out the plate to repair our outboard mounting bracket that we cracked the day that we left Mexico.
There was a few other things that Ben tackled this day as well. He dumped the jerrys of water we collected into the tanks, tidied the boat, topped up the batteries, and head to shore to cut a bracket for the dinghy out of aluminum. The morning we left to cross the ocean, we noticed the piece of our outboard that sits on the transom had a crack in it. It wasn't the time to fix it then, so we just secured it and left. But it did have to be dealt with before we could use our own outboard again. We were borrowing this little 2.5 from our friends on Promise Kept in the meantime. Meanwhile, on my tour, Poi brought us to his grandmother's house.
So nice.
Bonjour! She was an artist, using traditional Marquesan methods to make paper out of bark from a breadfruit tree.
Oh yeah. If you guys need your beers in the freezer.
Then she painted on it once it was dry. The art was beautiful.
mean, it makes no sense.
No, but I mean, there's lots of different designs. I mean, like we won't get the same design. You don't have to have like massive tattoos. Okay, so this is sandalwood. That smells so peaceful. Yellow ginger. And there's some mint.
Oui, ylang ylang.
Ylang ylang.
Oh, ylang.
Yeah. Next, she showed the ladies how to attract men by making delightful smelling flower bouquets to put in our hair. Another Marquesan tradition. This house is covered in like garden and it's so pretty. And every time I move my head, I get a waft of something delicious coming from my hair. We found a place to transfer money over and head for home. And despite how fun the activities were, I think it was the view along the drive that was my favorite part. Back at the boat, Ben had cut the bracket out of aluminum and was on the installation step of repairing our dinghy's cracked transom mount.
All right, well, it's not the most beautiful piece of metal work you've ever seen, but
It doesn't need to be pretty when you're in a remote corner of the world working with what you have on board. It just has to work.
might not be the prettiest craftsmanship you've ever seen, but I think it'll do the job.
That evening, Poi and his wife Reva had all of the boats from our crossing fleet over for dinner. There were no restaurants in town, so it's not uncommon for locals to make their money from the few sailboats that pass through by opening up their homes. You can all serve yourselves, and you can serve. Yay! We had rotisserie chicken, goat, boar, prawns, rice, and poisson cure.
I don't like the voice.
So Reva just told us that this skull right here is the actual like we're eating this pig. So we thought it was, we thought it was a pig skull. We didn't realize it was actually the same pig we were eating. So
We did
good
it.
job crossing the ocean, folks. Yes.
You guys missed me. We celebrated yesterday.
You guys came.
Try the shrimp. Really good.
Poisson cure is a Polynesian dish that is absolutely everywhere on the islands. It's similar to ceviche in that raw fish and onion are cured overnight, but this time in coconut milk. It's surprisingly sweet and super tasty, and Reva showed me how she makes it.
So cool.
I didn't know there was that much moisture in the shavings of a coconut. How cool. Wow. The next morning, we pulled up the hook and set off on a 40-mile beam reach towards the next island. I would have loved to stay in Fatuhiva longer, but Ben had heard of some potential surf spots on the next island and was keen to get moving towards them. But that will be in the next episode. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on what happens next. And if you love this channel, go ahead and show your support over on Patreon. See you next week. Ding.